I saw this post today where someone was asking about what to charge for a 2-hour, 100-person father-daughter dance. And in the comment section, there were a lot of numbers that people were throwing out there as to what they might charge. But what was interesting was I didn't think anybody was really talking about why they would charge the amount they were charging. They were just, I think, kind of picking a number out of thin air. This is what I feel like we could get out of the organization for it. I take a slightly different approach, and the reason I do that is because I do run my mobile DJ service as a business, and I have to think about costs and expenses versus what I charge. So let's just say, for instance, if you're doing a 100-person event like a father-daughter dance, there's not a lot of prep in this, but you don't need a lot of equipment. Let's say that you're bringing out $4,000 worth of equipment to this event. The way I do this is I charge a rental fee for the equipment, and that fee is 5% of the retail replacement cost. The reason I do this is because I feel like after 20 events, I can do one of two things. I can either have all of my equipment paid off and I start profiting from it, or I can start replacing equipment that didn't make it those 20 events. So if you've got $4,000 worth of equipment, 5%, that's $200. Now you've got to think about your operating expenses, which you have: your phone, your internet, your computer, your advertising, even your subscription music services. I don't know how much you pay in annual expenses to run your business, but let's just pretend that number is $3,000. All right? Divide that by the number of gigs you do per year. Let's say that you do 30 events per year. So if you divide 3,000 by 30 events, that's $100. So now we're up to $300. Now we've got to talk about our out-of-pocket expenses. This is anything from like gasoline to music you have to purchase, whatever, that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know. Let's be fair. Let's say that you only have about $50 worth of out-of-pocket expenses for this. That's your vehicle wear and tear, that's your gasoline, that's any song or whatever you had to purchase for this event. Let's say $50. We're at $350. I left some stuff out, but those are your real expenses going out to do any event. It doesn't matter if it's all day or 2 hours or 45 minutes. That's what it costs you to do your event with $4,000 worth of equipment and a $3,000 operating expense budget. So now you have to pay yourself. What do you want to pay yourself? That's up to you. But consider the time you have involved here. I think DJs talk themselves into the notion that they only have 2 hours invested, but they don't. You have to load out, you have to drive to the event, load in, set up, perform the event, break down, load up, bring it back to wherever you store your stuff, and unload it. So your 2-hour event very quickly turns into a 4-hour event. Minimum, maybe more. It just depends on how far away you had to travel to do your event. So with that in mind, that's what you charge for a father-daughter dance. Maybe $500 is fair. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm not doing anything else today. I'll go ahead and I'll do this event and I'll profit. Right now, today, I'll profit $150 after my expenses. I'll pay off my equipment. I'll pay down my annual operating expenses. And I got a couple out-of-pocket expenses I got to worry about. But after all is said and done, I make $150. Something to think about. That's it. I'll see you guys at the Mobile DJ Meetup starting tomorrow, November 3rd, running through Tuesday, November 5th. Practice and enjoy.